Welcome in, guys, to another episode of Classic City Talks with Classic City Locks. We're your hosts. I'm Wes,
I'm Mike.
and we are so excited to be back for another week. Last week had some of our best viewership. We had over 200 views on our video. So thank you guys. Big appreciation out to you. Continue to watch the videos, like them, comment. Our favorite comment from last week, we're going to shout out. It was, I put my life savings on Northwestern as per your locks. If they don't cover, my kids aren't going to college. Well, let me tell you, your kids are going to college because they covered. We didn't have a great week last week, me specifically, but Mike will take us through that before we get into this week's picks.
Yeah, so a little bit of a recap last week. Our first best bet was a catastrophe. Illinois +3 at Kansas. We thought that was completely dead in the water at halftime. They were getting thrashed. But like it or not, I mean, I know they didn't cover, but Illinois did fight back in the second half, made it interesting. I was texting Wes. I'm like, dude, you gotta watch this. Like, the backdoor cover is alive. And then just perfectly thrown midfield pick to end that one. So tough
Well,
loss there. But
the
like
the
Wes,
funniest part about that is I was watching the game and I was at work and I was working and watching the game and I had to go back and do something. So I put the game in my pocket and I got real busy and I came back and the game was still on in my phone and on my phone in my pocket for like an hour and a half. And I looked at the score and I was just like, man, that
brutal.
was painful. But
Yeah, Daniels, he played through. He was banged up going into the game. Didn't stop him. So props to them for taking that one. But like Wes said, we're sending a lot of kids to college with Northwestern +1.5. Hindsight's 2020, but that felt really good. And then
yeah,
Iowa State +4. I don't ever want to touch that game again. So my pick,
it was a
I
good
move
pick.
on to 2-0 prime time, baby. Colorado -3 versus Nebraska, lock and a half. The stadium was rocking. Nebraska's terrible. I think that Jeff Sims was on the sidelines dipping his hands in cooking oil between snaps, the way he was dropping the ball the whole game.
I'm just so glad that Colorado is playing Colorado State this week, so it's not an easy spread for you to just cakewalk through the
Yeah.
mud. But my two picks did not hold out. Utah Baylor, I wanted the over in that game, and then of course after the video aired, Cam Rising was ruled out, and that made the pick look just horrendous, of course. And then Alabama, man. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer just, kind of take their side, like regardless of who they're playing. I think they're years past, you can kind of take them and they're like dynasty, and you're just like, oh, this is an easy
Yeah.
pick. Like we thought that against Tennessee last year, but now I think the tables have turned and you can't look at it that way again. But we'll see. A lot of season left for the Crimson Tide there. So
Yeah, Texas played a good game. I mean, hats off to them. Quinn Ewers, good game. They have a real team there.
yeah, exactly.
Um, but new week 3, and we're gonna dive into these. But looking at them, I think that this is a really good slate. I think that Wes and I found some hidden gems there. So Wes, you want to kick us off with our first of 3 joint picks?
Yeah, our first Classic City lock this week is Oklahoma State -7. South Alabama is coming into town. They played Tulane recently, and Tulane beat them 37-17 in a 7.5 point spread game. So Oklahoma State coming off a big win at Arizona State. South Alabama is 0-2 against the spread this year. Their last 3 FBS opponents, they've failed to cover the spread, and their number 2 running back and kick returners out for the season. One of their wide receivers is questionable. That's questionable to doubtful. Oklahoma State is a very weird team this year. They've got like 3 quarterbacks. They're not really sure what they're doing, but I trust their coach. He's been there like 17, 19 years, something crazy like that. The mullet is gone on Gundy, but he is still just firing away over there, the Cowboys. So Oklahoma State -7 is the first one here.
Yeah, agreed. You got to take that Power Five team at home, good environment. Mike Gundy, great coach. Like you said, Wes, while they don't have the quarterback situation figured out, let's trust the trends here. And South Alabama is just not proven to be a very good team this year, so totally agree
Mhm.
there. Moving on to our next pick, another team that we both have really liked. If you watched us last season, you know that we both really liked them as well. Penn State going to play Illinois. They are 14.5 point favorites. Illinois, like we talked about, they were one of our locks last week, coming off a heartbreaking loss against Kansas. Penn State, on the other hand, beat West Virginia 38-15. What's there not to like about this Penn State team? I mean, last year it felt like they were so close to making that jump to being elite, and this year they have Drew Aller, who's balling out at quarterback. Looks like he's climbing the Heisman ladder. The run game looks just as good as last year, if not better.
Yeah.
So you got that dual threat. We saw that Illinois secondary is weak. So I think that's something they could really exploit this week, and we like them to cover 14.5.
Yeah, their secondary and their front line, man. I mean, we didn't think that Kansas would be able to run on them, but they did.
They
And
did.
so I like Penn State's chances here. The only concern that we have, and probably why this line is 14.5 and a little bit low in some people's eyes, is Drew Aller's first road start. But
Mhm.
I mean, he's proven to be very poised under pressure so far. So I like us trusting him here and taking Penn State minus 14.5.
And last thing I'll say, I don't think we need to be worried about a look ahead week to playing Iowa next week because remember, Wes and I were talking before the show. They lost this game last year in that
Yeah.
9 overtime game. So I don't think they're going to go into this, nervous about next week against, a decent Iowa team. I think they're going to want to lay on the pain on Illinois here. So
Yeah.
we
Franklin will
like it
have them ready for this one.
definitely. Moving on to our third and final joint pick together. You can actually get this line at 3.5. It was around 5.5 earlier.
Yeah.
Kansas State minus 3.5 at Missouri. A lot of people are riding with Missouri here. Home environment, not going to bite on that. They just had a nail biter win against Middle Tennessee. Not a bad program, but I mean, you gotta lock that up and get that confident dub. They won like 23-19. Kansas State, on the other hand, just coming off a 42-13 win against a good Troy team. Uh,
Yeah.
FPI, Kansas State's in the top 25. They're scoring 42 points a game, and they've only given up 76 rushing yards this season. So Missouri's going to have to win this one through the air, and their offensive line is weak. Their quarterback is the keystone of that team, and if they can't protect him, it's going to be a rough evening for them because Kansas State can score and they can defend. So what's not to like here?
Yeah, this one when it was at 5.5, I was kind of staying away from it. But now, I mean, we're seeing it at 3.5 as we record this. So I think it's some good value here. And also, Kansas State coming off a Big 12 championship. Missouri, this is kind of like their game of the season, but it's still going to be a contest for sure. I just, Missouri struggled last week, and early this season. And I think Kansas State handling business last week. They're looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think Kansas State pulls away with a touchdown late in this one. So
Definitely.
Kansas State minus 3.5 at Missouri, final joint pick. Mike, what is your pick of the week this week?
So, pick of the week, prime time is over. Staying away from them. I just don't want it too big of a line, but it was fun while it lasted. Dion, maybe I'll see you later in the season. I am taking Florida State minus 27, excuse me, at Boston College. Last year, I'll keep it short and sweet. They won 44-14. They look even better this year. Boston College lost to Northern Illinois last in week 1. They barely beat Holy Cross by 3. And FSU's already proven us they're great on defense and they have one of the best offenses in the country. Destroyed LSU. They won 66-13 against Southern Miss. Boston College is 101st in FPI, while FSU is 5. While Boston College has a decent pass defense, they cannot defend the run. So if FSU can get the ball running, they can win it on the ground. And I think that could open the passing game as well. So I love it. I think they're going to run away with this one like they did last year.
Yeah, something interesting about that game is it's FSU's ACC opener. So
Yeah.
nothing they've done before really matters for their schedule going forward if as they open up against some conference opponents. But good pick. I like it. So we'll move on to my pick of the week. I'll warn you leading off this. I'm 0-3 currently this year. So my friends have been calling me the fade god. They can't wait till the video drops so they can just pick opposite of me. So here you go. Here you go. Because this is my pick of the week. I'm going to take Tulsa hosting Oklahoma. Tulsa is a 29-point dog right now. So give me Tulsa plus 29 points. Not super confident about this one, but I mean, I was confident about the last one, so maybe that's a good sign going forward. Tulsa's coming off a 33-point loss to Washington at Washington. Oklahoma is, they've been showing us really good things lately. Their offense destroyed Arkansas State, but I think Tulsa is better than that. I think they can score more so than Arkansas State. Oklahoma only scored 28 against SMU. SMU is better than Tulsa, I will say, probably, but their offense has been going crazy. We don't know about their defense yet, so I like Tulsa to come back in this one. If it was 28, I would stay away, but 29 I kind of like. So they're in wounded animal mode. So this could be the game of their season. And trust me, or there you go, pick against me, and I'll be perfect 0 for 4 on the season after that. But
Yeah, I'm not hopping on this one, but again, don't I think this is a pretty solid pick too. I agree with you, Wes. We still got some questions on that Oklahoma defense. They can score the ball, but I don't know. We'll see how they go down the road. So
yeah,
I think that between those joint picks and these two, this is a solid slate. We got some fun stuff. Looking forward to a good week of college football.
yeah.
Wide open playoff.
A lot of people are saying it's a down week, but I think we could see some upsets this week. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
definitely, definitely. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share with y'all's friends, and like you've seen, you comment, you email us, you're gonna get shown on the videos. So keep it
Exactly.
coming.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys, you have no idea. You're making our weeks, making our month, with the 200 views. Let's keep pumping those numbers up. We're up to 61 subs. We'd love to get to 100. So if you're not subscribed, please do. If your mom's not subscribed, make her a Google account, subscribe for her. We don't care who it is. We just love seeing the numbers. So thank you guys so much, and we'll keep doing this for you as long as you're liking it.